Boom. Celebration. We are celebrating. What are we celebrating? This is crazy. We are having a day today. It is a celebration day on the show. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Church bells are ringing
It
here.
is a happy Sunday.
Really is. I can't even. I'm just like, it's what a day. What a day. Thank you everybody for joining the program today. It's obviously where you're watching Triple D, the Dynamite review with Dezzie and Dean, and I'm Dezzie, and here's Dean over there. What's
All
up,
right, guys.
everybody? What's up? Johnny Cadillac is here already. That's awesome. We got the show here. It's a weird day for it. It's Sunday, so I'm not used to being here on the Sabbath. So you'll have to forgive me. I'm not used to working on the Sabbath. Here
In
we
the
go.
Sabbath, in Sabbath Saturday.
Is it?
I,
I honestly, my
I feel
Saturdays
so.
blend into
I know
my
what you mean because you're
Sundays.
godlike, and even God had a rest on Sunday. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, man.
Pappy,
Everybody's got to
my
take it
old
easy
pap.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
Your old pap, Dean
I'm not
Christ
religious
dad.
anyway. I best put that out there. Best put that out
Yeah, exactly. Even though you could play the part, even though you could play the part. So we're here. We're celebrating because we had a pretty awesome AEW Dynamite. Was really rad this week, and it took place on Saturday night, which was really crazy. But I don't know. It started off pretty strong. We got right into it here. We saw a Private Party taking on FTR. FTR with Tully, man, that's pretty cool. How do you feel
Definitely.
about this match here? I liked Private Party there with the old Hart Foundation look. I thought that was kind of cool. Um, I was super into it. I thought that added heat from Tully was just super great. That super awesome finisher. What are they calling it? The
The
Midnight Express.
Midnight Express. Yeah, because
Just great.
Mark Quen's so athletic at the height. Because it's the height, it's like you know, to wait for him to come down almost to catch him in it. Because he's so athletic. Yeah, we're good. I enjoy this match. It was a good opening the show. I like when the show starts and it's straight into a match.
Yeah,
And you know, straight into the action. And it was fast paced action, wasn't it?
it was.
Even FTI were like, it was just boom, boom, boom. And like say FTI with Tully, I like that dynamic. And they were a lot more aggressive, weren't they? Pulling out the more heelish sort of things. They were a lot more aggressive. I did really like that about the match. I think we said it before about Private Party. They're good, but some green in some moments. And like sometimes I feel like their impact, that you know, the offense is quite impactful. Like if
Okay.
there's such a thing of strong style as this might be soft style, you know, where they're like step ups don't quite, you know, just feel like a little tap. I think they need to work on that. Don't, you know, get stuck in, especially
Yep.
against someone, you know, people as high a level as this. So, but
I
the
think so.
match
Yeah.
overall was good. One thing I did notice, like I've always thought it's good how because you've got Orange Cassidy and you've got Isaiah Cassidy, and I've always thought it's nice that the two people with the same surname on the show because Vince McMahon would never let that happen. Because obviously, we're as fans, we're really stupid, and there's no way we'd know the difference between Orange Cassidy and Isaiah Cassidy. Put them next to each other. But on commentary, they only called him Isaiah all night. They didn't.
Okay.
They were introduced as Isaiah Cassidy, like, but whenever they mentioned him on commentary, it was just Isaiah. And I'm wondering if that's just a knock-on effect of the fact that OC is so over now and such a big part of the show that they try to, you know, take you away from it a bit. I didn't. It's just something I noticed. Like, but yeah, the match itself, I did good. Like I say, good start. You see the spine buster. Like spine buster is an average move. We've seen it a million times. The spine buster that Cash Wheeler put on Mark Quinn,
Yeah.
it looked super devastating. The way he twisted him and his body flopped. It was like, whoa, that would have got for a
Yeah.
spine buster. That was pretty good. I imagine his spine is bust. What did
I
you think of it,
imagine
man?
it broke his back. I imagine it broke his back for sure. The job was done. The job was done. No, but exactly. I thought it was like you said. We've talked about it before. Private Party. They were impressive as hell. But FTR to me will always take that in that face off. I'll always be pushing for FTR. And that super cool jacket that Tully was wearing that Blanchard had. That was super dope. Super dope. So I
Like I say,
thought
it's
that was like you
nice
said.
then with him
Yeah.
as the manager. That's good.
Yeah.
So we're on about Tully. Other managers are going to start taking on more people, and this is it made sense about what happened. You know, last week. So I really liked this. Yeah, I like Tully with them. It's a good dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see more of it for sure, especially now given the other alliances that he has. Like I said, man, he's building up his horsemen here, building up the horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
So we bust into Moxley with his killer promo, dude. This guy is awesome. There's so much we can just talk about here. I love that he brought up his wife. The foreshadowing of him bringing up his
Mm.
wife in this promo is like, Right? And just talking like I love how promo 101, you build up your opponent, right? You build up your opponent and he's building him up and he says, you're going to move out of your parents' basement someday. And I was just like, holy shit, right? Like this, jeez, man. Good stuff. Super good stuff. I thought it was awesome. He really played up the fact that he is this intense man. Moxley's just got this intensity that he brings to the championship. And I was so like just drawn into this promo that I was like, yeah, man. Yeah. Like just, yeah.
He's in his promo prime, if you ask me. Like, say he talks, you
Oh,
listen.
yeah.
Like, I love his little, yeah. Like, say, put MJF over. I like how he said, I want AEW to succeed as well, like putting the company over. Like, he wants that to be a legacy, but it's like, not today, based. No, not all out, basically, for MJF. And
Yeah.
I think he's in his prime when it comes to his promos. He's fantastic. And like I say, the little
Yeah.
mention of his wife, like, is that a hint that she's on her way? Like, personally, I've never seen the appeal of her. I think she's quite boring myself, but I know that a lot of people really like Renee Young. So I think
Yeah.
the fact that he mentioned her is it's a bit of a sign. I
It's
think you'd think
it's
so, wouldn't
foreshadowing. I
you?
think
Yeah,
so. I mean,
definitely.
like she's pursuing a career in this, obviously, right? She hasn't given any indication that she wants to quit wrestling. It's just that she didn't want to be in WWE. So with him being there, it was just kind of like, okay, you know. So
Yeah, you want to be,
good
of course,
stuff.
you want to be near your husband and wife. It helps if
Yeah,
you,
exactly. Or maybe you
work together
don't.
and such.
Maybe you don't.
Well, she could go down
Maybe.
it. But like I say, I'm not the
Mm.
biggest fan of her, so I'm okay if she goes. Just some sports presentation of sport that I don't
He's
watch.
mentioned her before in promos in relation to the COVID thing. Okay, that's cool. So he has
Yeah, fair
mentioned her
point.
before, so it's not a
So
precedent.
it's
Yeah,
good
that's good.
news. We she's not coming.
Yeah,
No,
maybe
I'm
I'm
only
reading more
joking.
into it than there is for sure, but I'd like to
But
see her there definitely.
definitely, that's something I did think of that when he mentioned
Yeah.
her.
All right, then we got back to MJF, man. MJF coming out here, his oh my gosh, man. Again with the intensity here that we just don't see elsewhere. I'll just say elsewhere. AEW, man, this is so good. MJF here, the camera's in so tight, and he's appealing to his crowd here, to his audience. The tears are welling up in his eyes. You're just believing it. And he brings in Mark Sterling. With a name like Mark Sterling, you know this guy is 100% legit. So he's talked to a few health professionals, even. Man, Mark Sterling has done his homework, let me tell you what. And this petition to ban the paradigm shift of double arm DDT has gotten 5 million signatures. It's legit. I couldn't believe somebody could ever, and please somebody educate me on who Mark Sterling is, because I've never seen somebody overshadow MJF or at least match him on a promo level before on camera. So
Yeah,
to
they were
see
really good. I thought that they were
this
really
lawyer,
good.
yeah,
They were really good. Yeah,
super good, man. It works so well together, dude. Oh
I
man.
loved. I loved it when he said, we're on about like who's next for the paradigm shift that could get injured, and then he mentioned Wardlow's name, and Wardlow was like, as if like, please, like he'd get me in that position. And I love that. It was so subtle. I loved it. And another little detail, well, the woman, I forget her name, who was always telling to smile constantly,
Yeah,
like smile. She's beaming behind him the whole time, even though he's
I
being
noticed that
somber
too.
and talking about like how injured he is and he's emotional. She's beaming like a Cheshire cat because she's been drilled into her. Little subtle details like that. I love it.
Yeah.
This year's okay. It did what? No Burberry neck brace, though, which we were talking about. That I thought it feels like a missed
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
That should be Burberry.
Maybe
Come on,
maybe it's still coming in. Maybe it's still coming in.
maybe,
Who knows?
maybe. But they
But
both these back to back did the job, didn't they? Nina, is that the smiley lady?
yeah, the smiley lady. That
Question
smiley
mark. You said
person.
it with such confidence there, Shanna. So the smiley lady.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So then we bust right into this again here. No entrances for the 8-man tag. Well, I didn't see any entrances anyways. The Jurassic Express and the Natural Nightmares. Okay, so I put this here in the title, but I have it booked in my book, in my rights, in my noting here, my writing, as Jurassic Express and Nightmare Sisters Companions versus the Lucha Brothers and Butcher and Blade. So let me tell you, aging like a fine wine. Every time I see this man in action, every time he gets in the ring, he ages like a fine wine here. Brandy Rhodes' brother-in-law, aka Dustin Rhodes, is just a great wrestler, man. He's coming into his own. Like, what does this really speak to the not just AEW in general, I'm not going to fanboy out on that, but does it speak in general to the freedom that they're giving these wrestlers to this, you know what I mean? The fact that Dustin has been excelling now so much, not even just like in the ring, but physically, you know what I mean? You can tell he's really into it now. He's in the best shape of his life, putting on some of the best matches he's ever done. Like, name one Goldust match that's as good as any of these matches he's done in the last year or however it's long it's been. It's crazy. You know, it's
Like
crazy.
AEW is putting a new fire underneath him, innit? Like you say, it's not, and because it's in
Absolutely.
my notes, like Dustin seems quicker than ever. When he
Yep.
first came in, the speed, he was like a man half his age. And like I think it's just this new fire that the freedom they're getting, they're enjoying the work. All of, like, so we're talking about Moxley, the best promo work of his life. I think they just enjoy it, like you say, they're just enjoying going to work. So
Yep.
it makes you, if you really start to love something again, it
You know what?
pushes you,
It
doesn't
might
it?
just be. I wonder what the wellness policy is in AEW. Maybe they're just letting them drug up. Maybe they're just letting them do whatever they want, and that's why everybody's so happy there, right? But oh my gosh, there were some moments here. I've got Jungle Boy diving in with that Lope and that under that bottom and that bottom rope there, just
We're
like
diving like crazy,
missing,
wasn't
just missing Blade there, totally just hitting the the guardrail. I thought that was kind of funny. Uh, that's awesome. Pentagon zero fear and zero air in that choke slam. That was the. It looked like he was a big pile of like just a bag of rocks. He didn't go up very far at all. He just kind of stayed vertical, I think, for that choke slam. QT Marshall with that Wish.com buckshot. I love how it's just like, I've got a good finisher too, guys. It's like, okay. But no, I think it was a good match all in all. Like I said, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the Lucha Brothers. So when I see them in action, sometimes it gets a little bit sloppy, but I think it's always very entertaining. I've always been a fan. Like I said, Pentagon Zero, just a fan. You know what I mean?
it?
Uh,
Yeah.
just really good stuff. Man, Eddie Kingston coming. Okay, so Penta and Blade disagree. Jungle Boy takes advantage of that, and they get the win. The good guys win, and the bad guys are arguing like they do. And dude, for Eddie Kingston to come in here and fire up the troops like he did, the way he did what he did, and when he says "Come walk with me," I got so excited when I saw Eddie come down because I was like, "Yo, that's awesome that he's here." But then he started talking everybody up, and I'm like, if he's starting a faction, this is cool. Like, this is cool. But I wonder if it's too much now. You know, I wonder if it's too much just because it's like you're giving a couple of these guys some direction and a place to go. Well, they're already teams, but whatever. Um, I'm just wondering if it's too many factions at this point. I don't know what anybody else is thinking on this one here.
Well, my thing is, I think obviously I liked this, and it was like a bit of a faction. I think Lucha Brothers are too good for this. They should be in the top of the scene, but obviously it's dominated by now the champions and your FTR and Young Bucks feud. That they need to take these two established tag teams away from all that.
Yeah,
So it's a way of keeping them all busy. Because if they're in a faction with a singles guy, they can have singles matches. Because both Penta and Phoenix are great. They're not just a tag team; they're like legit singles guys. Anyway, I consider them so. So I think it's just a case of keeping them busy to take away from that. And like, yeah, I liked the pep talk he gave because that's what it seemed like what at first. But then, like, yeah, the walk with me, I'm like, oh, faction leader. Is this what's going on here? I thought
yeah,
that were interesting. When it comes to back to the actual match itself, at the beginning, I was a bit like, I could understand there was a already established connection between Lucha Bros and Lucha and the Blades, but why the Nightmare fellas with Jurassic Express? Because Jurassic Express have got three members anyway, so you could just have a little backstage 2 second thing where they're like, "Oh, they need a fourth member." Because I don't get why
right.
these two teams are together to fight to other, you know. It's
Yeah.
just to get them on the card. Because QT Marshall's, he's AW Dark and no more for me. But obviously, he's got quite a bit of him tonight. But
He got
they could have
outclassed.
used Dustin. They could have gone to Dustin because he's a legend,
Yeah,
and they're saying, "Oh, you're fighting better than ever." And I think that'd have been better to have like,
yeah,
if you're gonna have a 4v4 and one of the factions in it's got three men, use all three men and just have them find someone who's just to fill in because they
yeah.
need someone for the fight, you know. But
Absolutely,
I
man.
think it would just to fill out all the nightmare folks need to be seen.
Well, honestly, Brandy's got that pull, man. She's making it happen there. She's making it happen. Shanna's saying she's pumped for whatever Eddie Kingston has planned, and I totally agree. But I also share the sentiment with John. I was going to ask if AEW is getting too faction happy. because there's a lot going on there. There's a bunch of groups.
I don't necessarily think so, because I think that was some good thing about like the actual and so I like when there's factions, because you can have people be seen but not having matches every week.
Yeah.
And I've solved that thought, so it's nice that you can have a faction, you can have one member fight, and then you can mix and match. So people, one wrestlers are getting rest because they're actually involved in a storyline without having to wrestle every single week. But it also keeps the matches fresh while keeping everyone still relevant. So I'm okay with a lot of factions, to be fair, as long as they make sense. And I like how his speech were at least like, "Oh, I know all you guys, and I've known you for a long time, and you're good." Right. So that's why I've come to you guys. So I'm okay with it.
Could they call themselves the best friends? Maybe they call themselves the inner circle. I don't know. We'll see. There's going to be good names. So Lisa's saying Eddie's expression at the end, that little wink hinted at something that I don't know which way it's going to go. Maybe he's going to instigate a war. And that's exactly it. It looked like he's like definitely, he's got, was that like, like a sort of like a, hey, wink, I'm playing these guys? Or was it a, hey, wink, you're all fucked? You know what I mean? Like, you're all done. You know what I mean? Because I like that. I did like that. I picked that up.
Yeah, because if Eddie Kingston wants to get up there, you sort of need support, don't you? Now, because everyone at the big thing, they've got people around them. So it's probably thinking that's the best way to make some noise is just bring some warriors with me. And
I think so, for sure.
Make some noise.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they can go both ways, which is good.
Numbers.
Yeah,
power
exactly.
Numbers, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. Like I said, because like I said, I really like these teams that he's aligning himself with. So see where it goes. And we go to Britt Baker in the gym. Kip and Penelope there as well. Britt enlists her to join the handicap match, to go join her team essentially. And oh man, I am a one note pony here. Hey, it's a quality woman storyline on the show. When does Brandy come in and take it over? So. Oh man. But again, we're fans of where Britt's going with this. Obviously, we're seeing them rallying the troops here, so that's pretty cool. I do like that.
Yeah, she just offered a free dental, and once I think there was free makeup that swung it, wasn't it? And
yeah, that was the one that swung.
Yeah,
it's like fine, okay, that's good. We're good there.
Like I say, it keeps their feud going, even though Britt's out. So it's what it needs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, imagine, like, whereas another company, would have just buy. Hey, like you're injured, you're off, you're gone, right? Go home. So this is pretty cool.
Well, same time, what's going on with the women's division is the same time, so it's like they're being forced to. That's when Statlander got injured, and like, we'll come to Shida later, obviously, because it's relevant now. But no feud for her, so they sort of needed to keep her on as well, because she's like one of the few established female stars they've got.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, Brandy Rhodes, dude. Come on. Okay, so we got Orange Cassidy's out in the ring. Chris Jericho, I guess, like, man, okay, so OC, Chris Jericho, obviously they're continuing this feud here. Jericho has just got the wildest jackets ever. Like I don't know where this guy, like, he's just like, hey, I've got all these coats throughout these years in the wardrobe, like the tickle trunk. Maybe he's just got this box that he just keeps digging out of. But yeah, wow. And so I don't know. I don't understand how I couldn't have seen this. Like, it's so, when you think about it, it's like, oh yeah, of course, right? Mimosa Mayhem. The fact that you got OC, Orange Cassidy, and you got Jericho with his bubbly. I mean, this thing is, I don't know how long ago this was written out in the plan. Like, how long they said, guys, think about this. Let's feud. Why? Because of this, right? Like, how?
Essentially.
Right? So it's just like, who knows, right? Who knows? So we're looking like September 5th is going to be even crazier here. All Out is going to be great. They're going to be having their match. And it sounds like somebody's going to get, like, the Joker treatment, right? It just sounds like a big vat where you're just going to get, like, tipped over into it and then, like, splash. So I don't see OC taking a dunk, though, man. I don't see him swimming.
It's an interesting one. Well, I liked how Jericho put him over again. Like, he puts him over properly, doesn't he, whenever he's talking about it. And it was on about creating, I've been known to create matches before, and he referenced Money in the Bank. And it was like, they want a noise from anyone when he did that. And I don't know, that's because, like, that's still a relevant WWE thing. So we don't want to be like, yay, Money in the Bank's awesome. Especially now it don't mean anything. The last few years have been crap, haven't they? Well, let's not go down there. But I think one bit that took me out of it touch with the Mimosa Mayhem match were like, the only way to win is by pinfall, submission, or by being dumped in. So the only way to win is a multiple of options. It should just be you go in the drink.
Yeah.
If that's what it's called and stuff, that should be the only way to win. So I think they've missed a trick there, especially by mentioning them two things first. So, yeah, that was my one little flaw with it. But he also accepted the match, and then they had a little toast, didn't they? And then obviously beat him down, poured some bubbly all over him, up his nose and what have you.
Oh, man, just drowned him in that.
I've been enjoying this feud, and it's like you say, if you got this one each, you need the match. We've got a pay-per-view. Let's do it.
That rubber match, I like how they built it up.
Yeah, man. So it should be fun anyway.
Take the third one. Who do you think's going to take the third match?
It's a difficult one, but I feel like now Jericho, when he talks about him, he must recognise in that stage of his career where, of course, you want him to win and be relevant, but at the same time, he's in that stage of building the future stars and putting people over, and it seems like he has got genuine respect for Orange Cassidy. And like I say, when in his promo, he put him over for his heart desire, put him over for getting over. So I think he's going to put him over again, unless they're both going at the same time, because it's a mimosa and you need the orange juice and you need the bubbly. So maybe that's what'll happen.
We're gonna see a Brett Lex thing happening, in the Royal Rumble, where they both just go over.
Maybe.
We'll see it, man. We'll see. It's very possible, man. It's totally possible here. Totally possible. And then we go into the 6-man tag. The Elite taking on the Dark Order. 7, 8, 9. Man, I don't know where I'm making my notes here. Just
3, 4, and 5. The numbers seemed important for they're starting to push the numbers a lot more, aren't they?
But then I made that joke about how that 7, 8, 9 joke, and how about how 7 got hungry or whatever, and it's no. Geez. Lame jokes here in the morning for me. Let me tell you, Sunday mornings are a little bit slower than others. But,
Sunday tea time again about.
What's that?
Sunday evening.
Well, regardless.
Living in the past, Dezzie. Living in the past. No, another one.
That's what happens, man. I dwell in the past. That's where I live. That is where I live. So in my notes here, I've got V with the double stomp here. 5. I keep saying 5 or V. 5 here with a double stomp outside that ring, and Omega's got this chair on him. I thought that was pretty crazy. I thought some of these spots are dangerously, okay, guys, it's a huge spot already. You don't need the chair. Let's not bust Kenny Omega's face. He's a beautiful.
That must have been rough to take. That must have been rough.
Yeah.
I say, it's a long way. It's a long way.
Exactly. And then we saw more of Kenny Omega with his very heelish actions here. Kenny's losing it here. We saw him break up the pin and just starts punching, just swinging away here. And it's dude, this is not the way that the hero Kenny Omega ever, that whistle made my dogs bark, says Katie. That's awesome. That's that.
Oh, when I was whistling. All right.
That's funny. You're just whistling around here. Just high-pitched noises here. Attracting dogs, says Dean. But again, the Elite, we're getting the Elite, and this is what I love. I love watching these guys wrestle. I do. Kenny Omega, to me, like I said, he is still the best. I love his form, the storytelling that he does, his moveset, the whole look. It just works for me. So to see him with the bros here, the Elite, just giving her, that's awesome. I'm always going to watch it. And the Dark Order, again, I like they're really good in the ring. So when they have matches, it's always going to be, at least there's going to be some big spots, but it's going to be solid, right? You're not going to see any sloppiness. So I was really getting into this one here. 5 again, getting that double super kick from that moonsault. I thought that was pretty cool timing too. Goes in for that huge moonsault and got super kick there. That's awesome. That assisted indie taker / Meltzer driver. With that one-winged angel, that's a combination there that just is not ever going to. Nobody is going to kick out of that. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but if you're taking the Elite, then one person is not just going to stop it ever. But
yeah, well, the whole end of the match was some beautiful combos. But just before that, you had I liked the stunner into the suplex combo with Silver and Reynolds, because I'm saying, I really turned the corner on them. I didn't really feel much of him, but like you say, they're solid. And then I went into another combo of the Tombstone Pile Driver on Matt, when the Tombstone Pile Driver Nick on top of Matt, and then you had 5 doing his stomp on top of that. You know, so like this, loads of good combinations at the end of the match. The match itself, I really enjoyed. It was woodwork from them all. I say, really turning the corner on 3 and 4. But yeah, so like you say, solid. So and like you said, but like the Meltzer driver and the one winged angel when like the two fights, things that finish fights. So like I say, so combine them. Yeah, all the stuff. It puts. Yeah, it's going to finish anyone that, innit? So
well, not everybody
takes it away from not Brandy Rhodes. Yeah.
See, I love how we finish each other's sentences now. This is great. This is just the biggest in jokes ever. I love how we're just losing people. We're going to lose everybody who ever liked Brandy or like just decency at all. Is just going to just tune out. They'll be like, oh, these guys are brutal. Wade Blue saying, what's up, guys? Good morning. Peace be with you. And Dean, he loves the art. Pro wrestling is art. That's
It is.
I picked that right there, yeah.
Love you, Blue. Boys! Love that, man.
That's awesome. So Kenny Omega bringing that chair in. Oh, dude, Kenny Omega sets up that chair, and if he powerbombed that, oh my God, if he hit that powerbomb, if he had hit that, that would have been insane. I thought that would have been a really cool spot if they turned around and been like, what did you just do to this poor dude? Like, and then next week he's got a different guy under the mask. You know what I mean? Like that's it, replace him because they murdered a dude. That'd be hilarious if Dark Order was just so expendable. But like, what is he gonna do when nobody's around to stop him? That's what I'm thinking, right? Because these situations happen where he snaps in these tag team and group situations. But he's going to be in a singles match soon. He's just going to lose it, and it's going to be great. Like, he's going to go full on, and he's going to have, like, blood all over him. And it's going to be like, and it's going to, like, black in and be like, I'm a monster. No. And I'll be, like, right there for it, man.
Not necessarily, because I think the Crazy Kenny has been subtly put together because it's gonna be what costs Hangman and Omega the titles. Because, like, we'll go into it from the next scene, but like it's established now that. Have I frozen? Are you still there, mate?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I was frozen on screen because I'm getting a million messages, and
just DMs.
I keep getting loads of messages. Sorry.
So anyway, I think DMs here.
Anyway, so I think it's subtle for that because it's been established now, especially after the next segment, which we'll talk about, the friendship that exists between. Mate, it's still made in this. Sorry, just keep getting a million messages. Can't like turn it off. Right, so is the fact that it's established that he's friends with FTR and he likes them and they respect him as well. That it's going to be Crazy Kenny at the point in the match where them, because I think they will win the gauntlet match. Sorry, I'm jumping forward, but it seems relevant to talk about now.
Yeah,
there's going to be a point where Kenny's going to snap and try to hurt one of Hangman's friends by being Crazy Kenny, like doing something similar. And that's what will create a bit of dissension and end up to FTR getting the win, I feel. And that's why they're doing it. And I think so. I don't know. I don't think Crazy Kenny will come out in these singles matches. I think it's subtle storytelling for that. So when it comes to the point where that's what will cost them, because Omega will snap and really want to hurt, one of Hangman's friends. I think that's why they've been doing it, and that's why they're doing it. And that'd make them sense as to why they could lose then, even though the two are the best in the world, you know?
That is crazy. I love it, Dean. I love it, man. I love it. Just let me just like rent a room in your brain and just live there, man. I love the way you think. You sound great though, man. You sound good to me here. It's still a good conversation. Let me hear in the comments if you agree with me here. If you're still here, Dean.
Notifications.
Telling you, then quit having your Tinder open while we're doing the show. I keep telling you.
One more Tinder, fully enough.
All right.
I need to see you. Can I throw myself out a second, come back in?
Yeah, try it out, man.
Because I like to see your face moving about, you know what I
mean? It's still clear for me, though, Dean. Jeez. All right, good to see the slow burn in wrestling here. Okay, so Pete here. Great to see the slow burn storyline in wrestling like the old days, and that's what it is. We're seeing a lot of that long-form storytelling here in AEW. It is great. It's awesome. Liam, afternoon, you sexy person. And I'm the only one here on the screen now, so this must be towards me. But yeah, so we got to see, we got backstage now. We got Alex Marvez, and he's backstage with FTR. They're talking to Tully, and it's awesome. They're talking to each other here. Tully again, like he's just got this presence about him, very cool that he's just sort of in the back. Paige is there, starts drinking with them. They're celebrating, and yo, how you doing?
It's annoying that happened then because I went in a nice flow. I thought that was like one of my best takeaways from the evening. You know, I was
Dude,
having
I
this
could hear you
meltdown.
perfectly.
Yeah.
I could hear you totally perfectly, and then you left, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just here for a while now by myself.
No, because it were frozen. I like to see you jiggling about. So you know what I mean? Yeah, man. Exactly. In that sexy t-shirt. So now everything's fine. And I messaged the offending guy who sent me like 18 messages in a row asking me to play Call of Duty, and I think that's what crashed. Glitch in the Matrix. You know what I mean?
Is that what you guys call it across the pond over there? Is Call of Duty? That's cool.
I got Call of Duty, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Did you answer the call? Did you answer the call to duty?
Yeah, I said, fuck off. Stop messaging me. Leave me. Get you later.
Look, you know, I needed an hour for the show. Damn it, you know this. So we're talking here, FTR. Yeah, we're talking FTR here backstage. Alex Marvez is talking to them. Paige is in there. They're drinking together. They're having a good time, and like you said, building that friendship. That I think, like you said, and Pete here said too. Long what is long form storytelling is what I said there. The slow burn storyline is what he said. So it's good, man. It's coming in, like you said, building these relationships, and I'm a fan of it, man. Definitely a fan of it.
Yeah, so I think it makes most sense. Because Hangman first he comes in, he's pissed off in it, and they're like, "Oh no, we respect you." You know what I mean? You don't want the young bucks; they don't like you, but you want to fight someone who respects, and it's just about being the best. And I like the fact gauntlet match and logical order of based on the rankings, putting the rankings over.
Yeah.
You know, for a logical, like, oh yeah, they're ranked fourth, so they're in first. You know, rather than it just being like, oh, there's a gauntlet match for this, and you get lucky because you're the last one in for no apparent reason. You know, so it's like nice that it puts the rankings over, having a logical order, and it gets a team between FTR and the Bucks. So when the FTR beat the Bucks, there's a reason for it, and it doesn't take away the fact that they're coming together before their feud. Because, like, especially having Tully involved, Tully mentioned before, it's like, how can you argue over who's the best without the belts? So that's what they're doing, isn't it? It's like they're gonna FTR will take the belts off Hangman and Omega via Omega snapping, Hangman being on their side to the friends, and then you can have the feud for the best two in the world, apparently, over the belt that proves that fact. So I'm really liking where they're going with this. And like, obviously, sometimes you can sort of see how stuff is going. I hope it, but you hope it. Sometimes it's not nice that things are predictable, but sometimes it is because it's what you want and what should happen. Yep. You know. So yep. I'm hoping that's what's going to be the case. And if they tell a story I think and want in my head, I'm all for that.
That's how it works, right? The storytelling, it sort of takes you by the hand a bit, and you're like, okay, they're going this way. And then sometimes it's like, swerve. And you're like, no, and then you sort of like just fall into that pit, right? And you're like,
and it's beautiful the fact that Omega and Hangman are singles guys. So if they fall out in this match, it's not like, oh, the champions need a rematch. The champions, they can just go the separate ways. So your feud and your first feud for the belts with FTRs, it'll be against the Young Bucks and Omega and Hangman are, and they'll do what you did then, Omega and Kenny or Hangman and Page. But yeah, them two, it's just away from it.
Yeah. Tully was the best thing.
It was. It was.
Pete here saying Tully was the best thing about the tag confrontation. I hope they push on him with a serious force now, as it's been sort of start-stop with Sean Spears. That's exactly it. This is where they need to really use Blanchard and say, like, yo, this guy's legit. And Pete again here. Yes, Dean, let's bring back belts being the most important thing in wrestling. Belts should have always been the main event, in my opinion. Totally. The main event should always be the title picture.
Swish.
And, okay. Yeah, Swish, exactly. The Wrestling Raconteur, man.
Yeah, man. Check out his China's Last Match documentary on YouTube. It's absolutely fantastic. So well done for his first video. So Wrestling Raconteur on YouTube. Check it out. It's awesome. You won't regret it.
It really is awesome, for sure. Where are we going now? Oh, there we go. Right. Darby Allin in action against Will Jobs. You see what I did? Will Jobs. So Darby Allin taking on in this Will Hobbs.
How proud of yourself were you when you wrote that?
Pretty proud of myself. It was actually I was like, it was actually an honest mistake. I just like my fat fingers just hit J, And I was like, you know what? That really works. I'm a clever man. I'm a clever man. So I thought it was a good. I thought it was realistic for what it was. It was a small dude, Darby, this quick guy, and they had him paired off against a big guy for his credit. That's awesome because that's what he has to do, right? He has to beat a bigger guy like Cage. So they got him up against this huge dude, Will Hobbs, and Darby wins. And there's this Taz. I love how Taz plays this double role, right? He's on commentary, but he's also this manager. So he gets his attention. He says he's got this new member of Team Taz, and
Team
he
Taz.
debuts.
We'll just stop a sec. Team Taz. How lame was that? Team Taz. How pathetic does that sound? I was like, dude, don't say that. You just buried you guys. Team Taz. Welcome to Team Taz. I was like, dude, come on. And how the hell is Brian Cage okay with that? Oh, I'm a Team Taz, mate.
But he's not. This is what's going to be great. Is Taz is so much of an ego that he's going to get clubbed out by these guys. So he's going to be like, we're Team Taz. And they're like, dude, we are not Team Taz. You can take your little title and shove it up your ass. And he's going to fucking suplex the shit out of Taz out of the ring through a table. And Taz is going to get put off TV. So,
but Taz shouldn't think that's cool. That's the problem. Taz shouldn't think that's cool. Team Taz. Get out of town.
Hey, listen, you were the one that wanted to call this Team Dean, okay? You wanted to call the show Team Dean, okay? So you don't fucking get on to me about Team Taz.
Featuring Taz.
Not even that. It was just Team Dean. And I was like, what about Dean and Friend? And you were like, no. And I was like, okay. So we got this new
Single
member.
D.
Single D.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, Dean, I love these times with you, man. This is just so good. I love it. I couldn't. Will Jobs. That's awesome. Thank you, Pete. Thank you. There we go. So I
got one, Des.
There we got one. I can't believe we had to wait so long for this. That's what upset me this week. So we had to wait an extra couple days to get to have this chat. So we got this guy now coming out for Team Taz, and guess what? His name is also Darby. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty convenient. Ricky Starks coming out. This was my notes is just a bunch of ha 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 ha.
It was good. It was so good.
I was laughing so hard. Fucking awesome emo act. Like he really killed it. Even fucking every time they put the camera on Darby, he's laughing. Like
it was so good.
Holy shit. He fucking killed it, man. He killed it. Cage coming in, hitting Darby from behind with that FTW belt. Man, I tell you, I'm a fan. It says I'm a fan of Starks and Cage. Team Taz. FTW for the win.
Oh, Ricky Starks was so good. So good when he's taking piss with his little parody. But then also when he got in his face, when he knocked him down.
Yeah.
That, he turned up the intensity. It was awesome then as well. Ricky Starks were fantastic. Yeah, I don't need face paint to be somebody. Like, Ricky Starks looked ace. Yeah. Like Brian Cage with his big muscly sidekick. Because that's how the feud originally was, Cage and Darby. But it's like, thanks to that skateboard, it's Starks and Darby. And that's better.
Yeah.
So it's like Ricky Starks is the star on Team Taz. Brian Cage is the muscle with his belt. That's so unwarranted because all he does is lose. But I enjoyed this. All of it. It was good. It was good. Well, apart from Team Taz. Apart from me when he said that. But Ricky Starks was ace here. So good. Oh. So good.
I love how it's like, I loved all of it, except for that little part. But yeah, I love the rest of it. That's awesome.
I did. It was good. It was
good. Team Taz. Team Taz. That's good. So we got Sammy coming out with the signs, and I was like, okay, great. You know what I mean? This is cool. This is the standard. Sammy keeping the thing alive here with Matt. I don't know. I was like, probably going to a commercial break. Now I'm watching. I tried to tune in on TSN here like I do on TV, or I tried to, and it wasn't available last night on TV at all. They were playing UFC fight nights a bunch of times. So I had to watch it online this morning. Sometimes that I get the picture-in-picture. Sometimes it's like, and we're going to commercial, but then literally the framing doesn't change, so you don't know you're out in and out of commercials. So I saw Sammy coming up, and I'm like, okay, it's a commercial break. And he's got the signs, and he's doing his whole thing here, right? And he's doing his whole... Did you see his vlog, or the Botchamania, even where they, like, you could hear the timing, right? You can hear them like, you got to kill more time. So he ended up picking up more signs. So
Yeah,
I
we're
thought
talking
this
about
was
that last week. I noticed that because
yeah,
I'd seen that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and so I thought this was really interesting because I was like, okay, this is going to be another thing where now he knows the timing. So I'm kind of half watching, and I'm like trying to like read the signs here, and then they changed in appearance a bit, and I'm like, wait a second, and then like I was actually doing something else. I'm looking at something, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, is he reading? Does he know what he's like? Does he even know the signs that he's holding? And I thought that was so cool. So it's like, Sammy, read the signs, buddy, and he just keeps flipping them. And then from behind there, Matt Hardy appearing with that chair just beats the shit out of Sammy Corvar, man. Like, this is what I really like. That it's a different level. It's more intense. I find that AEW on its whole. I tried watching WWE. I gave SmackDown a bit of a watch for the Thunderdome. I'm gonna watch SummerSlam tonight. Obviously, I still watch pay-per-views. I still support WWE. I like it, but it's hard too when you got such a superior. I feel like the kid who wore the WCW Thunder shirt back in high school, who was just like, Thunder, man, fucking Thunder, right? Like it's you're supporting the losing brand, is what I'm trying to say. And so that's why I feel like WWE sometimes. But watching this was just such a breath of fresh air. Tossing Sammy off of that stage through the table like that. Holy shit.
It's a long
When
way, innit?
he fucking like that was a long thing. And usually when you see spots like this, like they just did it. I don't know if you saw Takeover. Takeover 30 was awesome, by the way. I love Takeover 30. They did a really huge spot there with Velveteen Dream where he flew over the barricade into a bunch of well placed covered tables that looked very soft, right? Could have been pads under them, whatever. But this was like, okay, you got this regular table that we're actually using for shit. It's just a
Yeah.
table. Now you're gonna fucking dive off of this through there, and it's
You
gonna
better hit
happen the
it.
hard way. Yeah, you
Yeah,
better
you
hit it,
better hit it.
and you better hit it. And he did, and it was fucking great, man. It was fucking great. I thought that was awesome. I just thought that was super cool.
Well, like with what about like with fight? I've told you before when when it does the picture in picture or whatever, it doesn't tend to drop out
Yeah,
for fight. But so I saw the signs and then I saw Matt Hard hit him and then it dropped out. So I thought, oh right, I'm not gonna, for whatever there must have been the ad break. I thought, oh, so I'm not gonna see that. It's just gonna come back to something else. So then when it came back after the gap of a couple of minutes and they're still knocking. Matt Hardy's still
yeah,
beating him up. I'm like, whoa, what have I missed? So exact. And then he launched him off, and I'm like, well, like you say, the intensity from
yeah,
Matt, like he's broken in a different sense, isn't he? Like his mental Matt, he was kicking off, and it ended when
yeah,
he got the same kind of chair. I won't say non-gimmicks because the other ones are real chairs and the hard, but
yeah,
the heavier chair,
yeah.
like the
That
similar to the
harder
one that
edge
he
there.
threw
Yeah,
at him, and he's one, and the refs had to like drag Sammy off and. So it's like, Matt, we're getting almost, he's got loads of versions. This is another one. He's mental Matt. He's kicking off. He's not
yeah,
happy.
yeah. Well, I love
That
how
chair
it's
shot to head changed him.
it's super good what he's doing with this whole fourth wall thing, where he's like, it's been pretty gimmicky, and now I'm just here as Matthew Hardy, and it's just intense. He just brings this intensity with him. I love it. I
Yeah, so,
absolutely love it.
like I say, it's like he's snapped a bit. It's got him. So blow to head and being pissed off about it equals an angry Matt.
Yeah, exactly. Right. No, and like you said, this has been something that's been boiling for so long now. They've been talking about. We've been talking about him ever since he like bumped into Sammy the first few times. Of like, whoa, this is going somewhere, and here we are. Full blown now. So I'm hoping they can really turn the house down here for sure.
Well, we thought like a Sammy face turn were coming, and I definitely think it was. But with Sammy having to go off TV for a bit, it's won't be the right time for that. So this is good to keep him like fully heel and keep it on that side. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it,
Yeah.
and that'll come down the line. That'll come next year. Sammy being one of the biggest baby faces in the company,
Think
definitely.
so? Yeah.
Yeah, at some point it'll be a while now. I think it'll all be pushed back, but yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Maybe he'll finally beat Cody's streak for that fucking title, man. Fucking Cody title. All right. So here we go. Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa. Holy shit, man. Okay, so when NWA Power came out, I was watching them. I love that retro feel. I love that studio wrestling feel where the one wall is there and you got the fans on the one side. I love it. It's something that I'm trying to like actually achieve with TAW. Is that studio feel like in bleachers in that room, right? That'd be fucking so cool. to get
Yeah.
bleachers in that room. So Thunder Rosa, to see her is like, wow, man, I love it. This is great. The fact that she came out here and she's like, you know what, I'm the champion. Sheeta, you're the champion, and I'm like, yep, super fight happening here, which is cool, and I'm down for that. But like you said, we also want to see Sheeta involved in other things too here, because it just seems like the title right now is one of those. It's just like you win that title and you're just away for a while now. Like where the fuck did she go? So
like I say, it's a cool match, but all it does is point out the fact that Sheeta hasn't got a feud because there's no one to properly feud with. So it's like a good match, but it's just a thing that's happening.
Well, I mean, how can there be a women's feud when everybody has to be there supporting Brandy in her fucking tag team endeavors, right?
But it's annoying that she hasn't got a feud, and we'll be saying, why aren't they built someone? It's like, this the plan though? It's just because they panicked and gone, she's got no one to fight, and she's a champion, and we've got a pay-per-view coming up, a big pay-per-view. So it's like, we need a big match. They've got a big match, but it's a one-time thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
They need to build more women. She needs to be feuding properly with someone on Dynamite, and need to be seeing her, not just squashing.
They're totally building women. Brandy Rhodes is gonna fucking title. She's gonna challenge for that title. Okay, she will challenge for that title. She is definitely the crown jewel in this studded piece of regal beauty that is the women's division in AEW. That's what she is. Okay, that's what she is, damn it. All right, so now we get to Nightmare Sisters taking on Diamante and Elise in the women's tag team tournament finale. What did you think about this match?
I think the finish was awesome.
Okay.
Because I think, obviously, we've been bad-mouthing this because it's just felt it's all about Brandy. It's all about putting Brandy over. That's the only thing it exists for. And as if they think Brandy's the greatest thing ever. Even the way Brandy started the match, being like the Cody smugness of like, I'm the best wrestler ever, and what have you. Like, anytime they posted anything on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, you read the comments, it's no but hate for Brandy. People going, she doesn't deserve this. Stop pushing her. So I don't know if they're normally good at listening to the fans, and I think they've done it. I genuinely think, and I believe that they wanted Brandy to win this, and they would have done if it weren't from the fan backlash. But they actually tend to listen to fans. They are good for that. So good on them. So I think they've give it to Elise and Diamante for that. But I genuinely think Brandy were supposed to win when it was first conceived, and I popped super hard when they lost.
Okay,
like super hard. And
you and I are the same fucking people here. Now, let me ask you a straight question here. Did you watch the match?
Did I watch the match?
Did you?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
You're a better man than I, okay? You are a better man than I. Okay.
Because I wanted to be able to pick it apart when Brandy won. That's what I thought. But obviously, I watch every second of it when I watch it. I love it.
I could not, even for the life of me. I knew this was coming up, and as soon as it started, I fast forwarded to Allie taking this pin, and then I said right here in my notes, I guess they aren't totally tone deaf, because I agree the same thing, that they wanted Brandy to win this whole tournament, but then it turned on its side, and she said, "Shit, I better turn this in." And they're good at that. They're very good spin. The spin masters there at spinning the way that things are. Is they turned her full heel, and they were like, you know what, just walk out there with your own action figures and call them Bran or whatever, and do your thing, and really play up the fact that people fucking hate you, that people fucking don't want to see you. Get that X-Pac heat, you know what I mean? That real go away heat. It's like, just get off my TV heat, like Dixie Carter. This isn't like a, oh wow, you're Vicky Guerrero, you're fucking really good at your job, you're really annoying me right now, and you're very, very manipulative. No.
Just go away. Just go away.
This is just, hey, that's awesome that your husband and that you got this part in this company as the chief brand officer of doing the
chief brandy officer.
Okay. But we don't need a Stephanie McMahon here. We don't need a Dixie Carter here. We don't need an authority figure here or if you're going to wrestle, then this has to be a different way. If you're going to take the loss, don't wait till the finals. You should have. Yeah, I would have totally been eating my words, and I would have paid so much attention to this tournament had they been kicked out in the first round. If she was so confident that they were going to win,
I didn't watch the tournament because of that.
That she called the tournament and they lost in the first round, and she just got pissy. I would have loved to see Brandy on announcing that whole tournament, or having some kind of role backstage, interviewing and having people and trying to cause hijinks and shit because she got kicked out of her own tournament in the first round. You know? Honestly.
And again, Ali took the pin. And it annoyed me on commentary. One thing they mentioned is the fact that the tournament only exists because of Brandy, because they need more competition. So he's like, oh, she's got that much swing that she wanted a tournament just so they could. She's the only female tag team and they wanted matches. So she puts this tournament together just to have matches. They also said on commentary about how Ali has been okay, quite a solid wrestler, but now she's been successful because she's with Brandy. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Do you know, the actual talented wrestler of the two?
Yeah.
Is only doing well now because, and I just thought, worst ego since Cody. Couldn't believe it. And then you see, this is interesting. Dustin had the figures at the beginning, because Brandy obviously is, even though there's, been three champions, in the women's division. Brandy's the first female figure. Liam Anderson, who normally watches the show, he sent me the top selling items on Ringside Wrestling, the collectible thing. And the number one seller this week was the Brandy Rhodes figure. Now, interesting, yeah. I at first thought, well, I'd like to think that's all the little girls watching, she's the only female who wanted. But I'm thinking it's so people can voodoo style stick pins in it. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me. That's why it's selling so well, so people can stick pins in it or something. Maybe. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, is why that'd be the number one selling item. Yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
I think it's like this. It became the number one selling item for this reason. Try to find me one Jar Jar Binks action figure. You can't. They're so rare. They're so hated that people just destroyed them and they're gone. So you try to find me one Brandy Rhodes action figure here in a year. I dare you.
It's gonna be worth millions, isn't it?
No, but look, we talk a lot of shit about Brandy, but honest to God, it was so humble of Brandy to let Ali take that loss.
Exactly. Obviously, Ali took the pin as well. Yeah. She'd probably gone, oh, okay, we'll lose, but not me. And QT interfered. Hang on, aren't you supposed to be good as well? What the f***'s going on?
Yeah,
he interfered. I'm like, what are you? You don't even know what you are. What's going on?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, exactly.
But I popped super hard when they lost. Not when Diamante and Elise won. I didn't pop at that. I popped at the fact that Brandy lost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at least now, get it off my TV for a bit. I don't know. Maybe.
No, it doesn't. You would think it would. You would think
she'll feud with Ali. She'll feud with Ali because, you lost. I'm the greatest thing about the women's wrestling ever, and I lost because of you. So she'll have a feud with her and bury her probably.
So, Brandy loses. Brandy's team loses in the co-main event of what is the biggest Dynamite in a while. Pretty big Dynamite. Main event here coming up. Oh, there's a special episode of Dynamite coming up on Thursday. So that means you're going to get a Friday edition of... Actually, I might be busy Friday with the camp, so we might have to do it late Friday or Saturday. We'll see.
Is it only an hour-long episode as well?
Is that what they said?
I'm sure I read that somewhere. I don't know.
Man,
Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. I thought basketball's boring. How do you cheer? The scores, it's 144 to 138. How do you cheer every 40 seconds? Every 4 seconds? Way, we scored again! Way, we scored again! Way, we scored again! Way, we scored. What score is it? I don't know.
Said by a man who has grown up on soccer. Absolutely. The man who has grown up on the piece of soccer. You have hundreds of points
I like
here.
all
what the
sorts
hell
of sports. I play NBA 2K. I did. I got bored of it.
I know. I'm just fucking with you. I just love you, man.
I love you too. But yeah, Dynamite's
too many points. I can't cheer this often. It just reminds me of The Simpsons when they were shitting on soccer there, where they're just like, oh man, that's good. That's
football.
Good.
It's called football.
Football. Sorry, football and soda.
Because they use the feet to kick the ball. You know what I mean? So
but
it's you know,
soccer. I
and
don't know. I
like
can't.
obviously football on in your side of the world, bit below you. You don't really play football where you're from, do you?
Yeah,
You
even
like
if the
hockey,
CFL isn't really a thing, just watch
but
the
it's like
things
yeah.
light up now. The
Well,
lights are gonna light up.
you throw that ball and hold it. So obviously, let's focus on like the smallest bit of it and use your football. You know what I mean? You're all fucked over that side of the world. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah,
You're all
there you
fucked.
go. There we
No,
go.
Canada,
This is
you're all right. No offense, US anyone from US watching, but you do things backwards. And like another thing, let me just go and say this: why the fuck wouldn't you put taxes in the price that's there? I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get it. I go to the shop, and that's £2. I go to counter, pull out £2. I don't go right. Let me get my calculator out and work out what taxes I've got to pay on top of that because you actually want £2.12. You know what I mean? Just sorry, bit of a rant there. And day, month, year, small, medium, large, the most relevant order. Not month, day, year. That is stupid. Absolutely stupid. Yeah. Water freezes at 0 and then boils at 100. Everyone knows when it's cold or it's hot. You know what I mean? Sorry. Please keep watching. I love you all because that's where it comes from and I love it. I'm just saying,
wow.
I'm just saying. Sorry. It's just been building up.
Yeah, dude. No,
love you
man,
all, guys.
Anytime. Any fucking
Not relevant
time.
to wrestling. I'm sorry. Shanna's turned off.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it. No, absolutely. Just we want more. I think that's what we want. Definitely.
I like the
feed me more of
portions. Being a fat guy, I like the portions. That's okay.
Everything else is messed up with the portions. Everything he is saying is 100% true, and Pete agrees, and that is true. I absolutely agree with you. Nobody's arguing this point at all. This is
There's
hilarious.
a lot to love. I'll focus on that on another show. All the things I do love.
Speaking of things we loved, speaking of things that we loved, let's have a celebration. Let's have a celebration for what this match was. Let's have. I cannot even express right now the pure excitement I have for what happened here with this fucking match. This match was insane. This match, I can't even.
Fucking loved it. I loved it.
Right here.
Okay. Yes, Des. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This was what we think of this match. This so was. Good. Fuck so me, man. This Brody massive drop kick slams him over the ropes, out of the ring. Huge boot outside of the barricade. Rips down the barricade. He's just pushing everybody out of the way. Oh my gosh. Like, I think Big Swole was there ready to fight him. Is like she's just like ready to scrap out with Brody Lee if he wanted. Arn's face. I love how Cody back in the ring and Cody is just getting destroyed. Just destroyed. And Arn's face sold it all. That look of concern, that look of fear, that look of holy shit. Like, this didn't even happen with Lance Archer. This was insane. That's when I said this match should have been billed as exactly what we're reading on the screen here. Brody Lee in action. I fucking was yelling, man. I was yelling. And I couldn't believe it happened, man. I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know what they're going to say about how that happened. I don't know what... But that was unrivaled intensity right there. This should have been Brody Lee's debut. That was insane. That was fucking crazy. What did you do? What? Like
I haven't popped this hard since Brandy Rhodes lost. This was awesome. This was so good. Honestly, I loved it because obviously Cody charged him and it sort of pissed Brody Lee off. And then once he starts bullying him, I'm like, do it. I'm like, please do it. Just squash him. Just destroy him. And that's what happened. And I watched it by myself. I was out of my seat, buzzing, bouncing around like, yes, get him. So happy. And like, I suppose Cody being a bit of an egomaniac has led to this. It was only as important because of the way we've been feeling about Cody. But I just loved it because I didn't think they'd do it. And I'm glad that, again, same thing about Brandy, maybe they're just recognising that there's certain things that people don't like. And what a way to answer it. And we said Brody Lee sort of needed to win this anyway. Yeah. But I thought, and I did think he was going to win, But I thought it'd be a match because it's Cody. So it's Cody's going to put up a fight and be awesome and like do all his bits. But just because he's so battered because of all his, like they could put over before, he's fought every single week. If he hadn't had a title match, he had the tag match. But to just do it like this was awesome. So good. So good. Like, what a way to do it. Gives Dark Order so much legitimacy. And I love how afterwards he had to get stretchered out because they beat him down. He's shouting in Tony's face, you created this, you did this, now I've got the power. I loved it so much. And then the beat up Arn, crap, worst coach ever, beat him up. Another, it reminded me like Clubber Lang, Rocky, because like we've been saying like before, I found a guy who's not good enough, but you can beat. Arn hasn't been a good coach, only putting him in matches he thinks he can beat. So it was good to see the concern, like, actually, you're in there with a monster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's good that he got, just battered. I loved it. And I liked how they beat him down afterwards, flipped the smashed up. He said in his promo last week, you can have this title back. I'll give you the old title back because I'm taking yours. And he hit him over the head with bag and we didn't see what quite in it. And then he paused it out. I told you I'd give it back and it's the broken title of his one. So good. So good. All Dark Order out. And they like seem such a big part of the show now. Like, all my notes. Love this. Fucking awesome. I'm so happy. It's good when a wrestling show, they say like, leave you happy on a happy note. I was smiling so much.
I tell you,
I love it. I love it.
Discus clothesline, new champion. I'm like, what the hell? Wow. And then of course, this is it though, oh my God, of course, Cody couldn't just lose. He needs a stretcher, right? It reminds me of Jenna Maroney off of 30 Rock. Always needing to be the focus of attention. He's wearing the gold. Oh my God, if Brody's going to be holding the title in the ring, well, I need a stretcher. I have to be the focus of attention here. So he's getting wheeled out in the stretcher, and Arn Anderson started getting beat up. He starts fighting back, gets kicked up bad, man. Stretcher back out, tips him over, gets blasted, like you said, with that bag. I love Arn. They got so close to Arn, you could hear him. Oh, son of a bitch. Like, he's fucking out.
I like how the Dark Order dragged out, beat up Dustin and QT.
Yeah.
Like they beat them up, drag them out.
Yeah.
And then I know what you're going to say. Where's the star of the show? Come on, Liz, I'll let you take over.
Well, I was thinking, like, where's Brandy to take the spotlight? Oh, shit, there she is. Nothing but a Jezebel. Yes, she is. The old... Jesus. Wow. Goodbye, Nightmare Family. Quick, get Brandy in the shot.
But I forgot that Anna Jay briefly. I forgot that she was in the Dark Order, and it's like, yes, she's there. Chokes Brandy out, and I'm like, now I'm really fucking happy. But no, great. It was great. Fucking great.
I can't believe it now. The promos are all over the place. Instagram, Facebook, and new TNT champion. That thing looks so good on him. So good on Brody Lee. Congratulations to Brody. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that. It was exciting. It was super exciting. I think it more than rivaled. See this? I saw TakeOver last night, and I watched Dynamite today. Both super awesome shows, man. Awesome wrestling, both ways. Thought it was just awesome. Dynamite was fucking great again, though, man. After watching a year of AEW, I still don't know or care who QT Marshall is. Get rid of the fucker. Wow.
Like I say, Pete, he's dark. He shouldn't be on the main show, but obviously they just wanted. They were there.
He's a hard worker, and apparently he's got the Nightmare. They got the school together, right? He's one of the head trainers there. So apparently he's like got connections. But
I just understand why he's there. Fair play to him and that, but yeah, there's just no about him. There's no presence to him. He's not. He don't feel elite, if you know what I mean, or elite,
Yeah, he feels like exactly where he should be, just in a confusing, fucking hell of a weird faction that's celebrating mediocrity. I don't know. I just love
it. Like I say, Brody Lee should have won, and I didn't think they'd do it like this. And this is the best way for me personally they could have done it.
Yeah.
And now he seems so strong. He's got the biggest faction, all in people behind him. Like, here we go.
Exactly.
Here we fucking go. Yes.
Here we fucking go. I can't.
Is that going to write Cody off for a bit as well, for extra? Is that going to write him off for a bit? For a bit of extra joy to become from this? To not see him for a while, so I can start to like him and enjoy him again. It should.
Do you mean when he takes a break? Do you mean like he'll be gone for half an episode of Dynamite or something? Or
well, that's probably what'll happen, and he'll come out strutting fine. Him and his wife. But I'm hoping this will write him off TV for a bit.
Yeah,
because I've gone stale on him because of how much he loved it. But obviously, the pay-per-view's not that long away. He's not going to not be on that, is he?
Well, right, exactly. He needs another storyline to come back from there. So, I mean, who knows?
Moxley would the storyline be a rematch? He can't fight Mox,
I don't know.
Can he? Can't fight champion.
Cody can do whatever he wants, man. He's the Prince of Pro Wrestling, dude.
But I hope it writes him off and he's not on the pay-per-view, and I'd be like, right, Cody, that is instantly all his ego-ness that I've been talking about will be flipped back on its head. Thank you.
Yeah.
Recognising what the hell we're going wrong, and then he can come back and I can start to enjoy him again. Because I do like the man. I do like his wrestling. I do like, I've got nothing against him. It's people. It's just the way it's gone out. But again, this show ended awesome.
Exactly. I think Shannon.
Exactly, Shannon. Exactly, yeah.
Absence may make the heart grow fonder. Write him off till after All Out and let him focus on backstage stuff. Exactly. Yeah. And you know what, Pete? I'm gonna use Pete's old when he's talking about QT Marshall.
It applies.
Get rid of the fucker. It implies using Pete out of context. Hey Pete, what do you think of Dean? Get rid of the fucker. He says. Get rid of the fucker. Okay. From myself, thank you guys so much for watching the show here. Thank you for being a part of it. It's Sunday. You guys enjoy your day here, wherever you are. Be safe, and we'll see you on next week.
Love you guys.